Hi, welcome back, my cosmic thinkers and frequency shifters. How have you experienced last week? It was a boom, right? Because Mars opposite Uranus, Uranus dipping back into the sign of Taurus on November the 8th or the 7th, depending on your time zone. And then Sunday on November the 9th, we have Mercury stationing retrograde. So a lot of truth bombs, a lot of surprises, a lot of frequency shifts, electricity, and nervousness or like a feeling of restlessness is definitely up in the air. I've had some people who really acted out of character, and I was like, oh wow, they're really tapping into the Mars opposition to Uranus right now. So Uranus zipping back into Taurus for its final big hit. You can look at this as like the final earthquake before the entire shift that is about to make in April of 2026. Then it will fully ingress into the sign of Gemini. But right now, from November until April, the universe is giving us like this last big round of truth, clarity, awakening, and changed in regards to all the Taurus themes, which are, of course, money, values, our bodies. With Mercury stationing retrograde, there's a lot of emphasis on the nervous system because the nervous system is ruled by Uranus. So take a step back and really take a deep breath because our mind can be on fire now because it retrogrades back into the sign of Taurus. This is like the final moment of closure in our Taurian teams. So this is like the integration moment. Uranus has been shaking all of us up since 2018, and this is like the last lightning strike to the old Earth before we fully step into this new frequency. So yeah, this video might confirm what your intuition has already been telling you. I would say normally whispering, but Uranus is not a planet that whispers. Uranus is really, really loud. So just take a moment, take a deep breath, and let's look at the presentation for today. So here we have the exact dates of when Uranus is doing its weird things. Uranus rules over weirdness. It's about awareness, shock surprises that actually shake you out of your comfort zone. So it's back into Taurus as of November the 8th or November the 7th, depending on your time zone. And it will station direct on February the 4th. And the full ingress happens in April of 2026. So a very important date is definitely February the 4th, as it's going to station direct at 27 degrees of Taurus. That is going to be a very, very big day. And actually the week leading up to that is going to be filled with Uranus and Taurus themes. So Uranus is, of course, the planet of shocks and liberations, and it's about quantum leaps and consciousness. And the fact that it re-enters Taurus for the final last time, it's really reopening a chapter that first began in May of 2018. And it's inviting us to revisit and now actually take the time to complete the whole karmic and evolutionary lessons that we've been trying to navigate since 2018, so for the last 7 years. Uranus is not going to return here for another 84 years. So this is like the last act and a final chance to tap into all of the themes of awakening and reinventions and breaking free from all of our outdated values. It is about attachments, it is about material structures that actually no longer reflect our growth and our truth. So did you integrate the changes that it pushed you into, or did you resist them? Because Taurus, it is a fixed sign. It doesn't like change. It can be very stubborn. It wants to do its daily routine for like its entire life, and it's very difficult to change a Taurus. But this is actually, you can expect a feeling of deja vu. There can be recurring themes that are now going to come full circle. And it's definitely about money and stability and self-worth and land and security and our physical body. So yeah, Taurus can be a little bit stubborn, but Uranus, it doesn't care about stubbornness. It's going to change it up no matter if you like it or not. So this is actually the conscious return to tie up loose ends, to reclaim our power and to really embody a new relationship to the material world. So here we have its ingress back into the sign of Taurus. That happens today as I'm filming this on the 7th. For other parts of our world, it happens on the 8th because it happens quite late at night during the 7th of November. So Uranus, of course, it rules like star seeds, weirdness. It's your like-minded people, people who act a little bit eccentric. It's about friends. It's about shocks and surprises. But ultimately, Uranus isn't here to only shock us. It's actually to shake us awake and shake us free. So here we have some themes that Uranus rules over. And it really, yeah, Uranus, it's not chaos for the sake of chaos. It's actually the cosmic electrician. It's totally rewiring our perception so that we are actually able to see beyond the illusions that we once accepted as normal. So this is like an esoteric jolt to all the Taurus themes, to the nervous system, and definitely to the third eye. So he always brings sudden clarity and intuitive downloads and really a push towards authenticity and freedom. Freedom and the truth is very, very important for Uranus. Everything that becomes stagnant or feels a little bit artificial is going to collapse now. And it's going to do that because it was never aligned with our soul's truth in the first place. So it's going to test our willingness to evolve. It's liberation through disruption. There can be some uncomfortable truths coming up, some revelations, and very fast pace. Uranus is very, very quick. It is about rapid change. But with Taurus, it's always the energy of Taurus. The lesson to it is actually to ground the awakening into a real embodied life and not only stick to the theory. A lot of people read a lot of books and they have these awakenings, but it's more difficult to really implement that into your daily routine and your daily life. So it's actually a spiritual revolution. Uranus, it's really about breaking free, very revolutionary energy, and it's spiritual revolution blended with like real world consequences. And we're going to see a lot of that, and I'm going to go over that later in this video. So we're going to see some shakeups that are going to be in regards to the body, to our 5 senses, to finances, and to our value system, anything that is ruled in the Taurian realm of the tangible. So if we then look at what Taurus rules, have already went a little bit over that, but definitely our money, our incomes, possessions, it's about currency and banking systems. One of my biggest predictions is that we're going to see a pretty big collapse in our banking systems. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because if you look at the chart of the Federal Reserve Bank, Neptune and Saturn are going to conjunct on February the 20th of 2026, and that will happen exactly at the MC of the Federal Reserve Bank. So just as Uranus stations direct, a couple of weeks later, we have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. By then, 3i Atlas will also be pretty close to Jupiter. It will be exactly conjunct Jupiter or like in its orbit around the middle of March. So we actually have a lot of key central themes that are going to align and then happen pretty closely in the same time. So, of course, 3i Atlas and the fact that it's going to be close to Jupiter is also going to really help us free our mind, be able to look at the bigger picture. And we have so many important astrological transits aligning all at the same time. So pretty significant, if you ask me. Of course, Taurus is also about real estate and land ownership, like who owns what land. Of course, nature, earth, resources, land, soil, food, agriculture is all ruled by Taurus. The environment, so there will be a lot of breakthroughs and a lot of shakeups in our environment in the next few months as well. And of course, it's also about our physical body. It's about touch, taste, smell. The finer things in life can be pretty unstable right now as well. Another big theme that I think that we're gonna definitely bump into the next 6 months is actually fertility and growth. That is also ruled by Taurus. We have actually 6 consecutive new moons at 28 degrees of Cancer. So actually, since the new moon in Libra that we had on the 21st of October, that was the start of a returning cycle for like 6 months of like new moons on 28 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. So definitely a lot of stuff is going to come up in regards to the birth rate and everything in regards to that. So Taurus is also about stability, comfort, security. So yeah, we can feel like there's slow growth. And if we had some growth, that can now be like shaken up again a little bit. It's just Uranus doing its thing. And with Taurus, there can be like a lot of difficulty in regards to shakeups in regards to our patience. Uranus is definitely gonna bring a final big blow to all of these themes. So endurance and persistence can be shaken up as well. And it's very, very important that we ground ourselves very, very well during this time, because the nervous system has a lot to deal with. Of course, craftsmanship is also ruled by Taurus, like everything that is being made with your hands, everything that is inspired by nature and beauty. And also Taurus in medical astrology rules the throat chakra. So it's also about music and using our voice. That has this final big frequency upgrade that we're going to receive in that. And if we then look at what Uranus in Taurus rules, that is, of course, a lot of invention, disruption, revolution, liberation. These are all Uranus themes that are going to be happening in the Taurus area. So we're definitely going to see a lot of currencies either booming very, very high, and some of them are going to completely lose its value. We're already seeing that happening because of the higher inflation as well. But think about crypto, CBDC, everything in regards to decentralized finances are going to be a very big theme in the next few months. I think we're going to see some big collapses in the banking system, definitely. And inflation, deflation, they are always connected to Uranus and Taurus historic cycles. That's something we see popping up again time and time again. So of course, we're also going to see a lot of breakthroughs in regards to our food, farming, and land. We already saw these food system changes or shakeups, lab-grown food, fake food, like some kale that it's not possible to break because it's just like it's like plastic, and we've seen that happening with a lot of food, and especially vegetables and fruit, also things being put in our food that can actually the medical procedures are now like being put in our food. So very, very difficult to escape certain things. So really buy from your local farmers. Be careful about certain certifications, so really check your food. But that is also what Uranus and Taurus really helped us about in the last 7-8 years. A lot of people got really, really aware about what they're putting in our foods, the pesticides, all of these things. People are way more careful about that now, and that's why we have Uranus for. It's helping us to create awareness and how we can better manage all of these agriculture things. Another thing is also, of course, we're going to see big shakeups and climate. Of course, that's also partly due to geoengineering, of course, but I'm pretty sure that the dark arts people are using astrology so they can really tap in and align with the planets. It's the planetary energy. So yeah, that is getting quite out of hand with all of the big extreme weather events. That is definitely gonna see another big spike in that in the next few months, unfortunately. Then we also have liberation from comfort zone imprisonment. A lot of people felt like they wanted to really liberate themselves from any material attachments. We saw that in people really breaking away from like traditional lifestyles. They changed that for like a simpler or more sustainable way of living. Think about like off-grid living that became really, really popular as well. People really breaking away from these like traditional set structures around how we live and how we're actually imprisoned in this concrete jungle. Uranus really made us aware of that as well. So that is actually quite positive. Then we're also going to see innovations in regards to our body. Biohacking became like really, really a very big theme. Look at CRISPR and what they already can do and change in regards to our DNA. Look at what they've altered in everyone's DNA in 2020. We're going to see new sciences that are going to be revealed, what that's causing, and also how that affects the nervous system. Awakening and consciousness is now coming through the body again and not the mind. That comes again when it enters into Gemini fully next year. Now it's awareness through the body. Next year it's awareness through the mind. And then, of course, extreme weather events that are impacting our food, our land, farming in general. We're going to see very big volcanoes and earthquakes and shifts in the tectonic plates as well. I'm predicting a quite severe event during February. Definitely the month of February is going to be we're going to remember what happened in February because it's going to be quite memorable. So I'm not going to go too deep into that now. I'm going to save that for my Saturn and Neptune conjunction because I do think we can see some shifts in our map, in our world map, our land map that can possibly shift as well. I think especially south of Spain, Ibiza, those places can definitely see some kind of shakeup. So it's actually, from an astrological perspective, the Earth is actually reclaiming balance through disruption, but because the 1%ers are really tapping into that energy and like causing massive chaos with their geoengineering, it just like it's getting out of hand and it's like really, really obvious. Like look at Maui, what happened in Maui, look at what happened in LA, look at what happened in Jamaica right now. Like this is not Uranus and Taurus. This is people who really take advantage of the current planetary energy that is like being immersed on Earth right now. So there's always some kind of plan already up in advance for like smart cities and all of that bullshit. So I think a lot of people are going to start to see the truth finally about that. So let's look at what it already brought us, and I already went a little bit over that. But the biggest shifts were definitely a rise in platforms like Airbnb, a new type of income model. We saw van life, nomadic living, tiny houses became really, really popular. What it's also pushing us towards is also co-living, like sharing your property or sharing your house. And that also led to remote work or like trying to live anywhere, breaking free from the home, from the stability, from like one location model. A lot of people reclaimed their freedom in regards to where and how they wanted to live. Uranus liberated us in that and helped us. Of course, another big theme is like the no kitchen lifestyle. We saw Uber Eats becoming really, really popular, like Deliveroo, all types of apps in which you could actually order your food at home, which is not really healthy. So We also saw lab-grown meat that they try to implement that, and they say it's plant-based made, but it's like with crickets and all other unhealthy things. And a very beautiful example of that is, of course, Bill Gates. He started its company Beyond Meat, and the company stocks went completely down in the last few months. So yeah, I was actually enjoying seeing that. And another thing is like they are like putting some bad things in cow food. I think the name of the company is like Bovir, and it's killing the cows. So I think that is going to be a major scandal that is going to be revealed over the next couple of months. Because if all the cows just drop dead, then people are definitely not going to use that anymore and going to revolt and yeah, rebel against that for sure. It's yeah. If I look back, how many farmer protests didn't we see? That is also part of Uranus in Taurus, but during the massive uprisings from the farmers, there was Jupiter conjunct Uranus. So that, of course, like expanded the whole energy around that. But Uranus shocked the Taurus food system into more innovation and also convenience, but I don't know if we're like heading in the right direction in regards to that. It's also pushing us to like really question our sustainability. But I know some things are not completely clear in that right now. A lot of people think if they don't eat meat that they're sustainable, but yeah, maybe that's a whole other conversation. But for example, my blood type is O positive. I need to eat meat. Otherwise, I do not get my full minerals and everything that I need to have to in order to be healthy. So, of course, it all depends on your personal body as well. And if you do not eat meat and you have another blood type and you're doing well with that and you're taking your vitamin B12, then congrats, good. But I love my meat, and fake meat, that is like never gonna happen. Especially not if it's filled with crickets. No, I will not eat sea crickets. No, no. Then, of course, also we have the crypto boom and the digitalization of banks and all the systems regarding in that. We also saw the extreme inflation. Also rise of like, yeah, the rise of being like having a job that is more freelance, multiple income streams. That is also partly due to Uranus in Taurus, and we saw a lot of people leaving their jobs to build a way more soul-aligned work in that as well. We also saw some supply chain breakdowns, some scarcity happening. Of course, is that only because of Uranus, or are there some people really, are they having a hand in that as well? I think that's very, very clear. So yeah, another positive factor is that there was a very big backlash against fast fashion. So we saw a very big rise in thrift stores and minimalism, and really, it really put an emphasis on conscious consumption. So it's about like own less and experience more, really becoming a lifestyle, but not because the WEF wanted that, but more because we noticed that all of these cheap brands were also filled with toxicals and with toxins and chemicals, and we became really, really aware that it's maybe better to buy something of a good price instead of buying some fast fashion that was probably made with made by children. So Uranus, it really forced us to question what is truly valuable and what is actually fake security in all of these themes. Then, of course, that also led to like a complete change in the cosmic industry. That saw a big shakeup because a lot of people also educated themselves on the fact that there are all these parabens and nasty chemicals and toxins in our products as well, whether it's shampoo or like creams for your face. So a big emphasis on clean beauty. And also like do it yourself, making creams yourself. That also became very, very popular, and I think that's very, very positive. That then ultimately led to like a lot of people started about nervous system regulation, like that became such a wild and wide spoken topic amongst a lot of people. That became like really, really mainstream. And then that ultimately also led to biohacking. A lot of people started to do these cold plunges and had these wearables and red light therapy and really having this supplement lifestyle and going like fully green and healthy. And I think that is also a very, very positive and beautiful shift that we had thanks to Uranus. Taurus rules the body, so Uranus awakened us into these new ways of like living in your body and ground yourself in the body as well. So yeah, that is also a very beautiful one. Resurgence of handmade goods, because look around how many people got into pottery, ceramics, knitting, sewing, vintage stuff. All these farmers markets became really, really popular. So yeah, again, it's about natural materials and also nature-inspired aesthetics that really, really returned. So yeah, our own creativity that got stimulated, that really moved us away from like these mass-produced things into a more soulful and earth-connected artistry. And I think that is very, very beautiful to see as well. So if we then look at the final shockwave that Uranus and Taurus is going to send us, and this is actually a slide that I've shared by the end of August when I did my Uranus retrograde into Gemini video. This is like a short recap of all of that, but now fully immersed into the Taurian themes. My previous video was, of course, about the Gemini area of our chart. But this slide is like still the same of a couple of months ago. So yeah, we're gonna see definitely before Uranus finally leaves Taurus on April the 26th, 2026. Then it won't return again for almost a century. So these next months are gonna be pretty critical and pretty memorable in regards to all of the themes that are listed here on screen. So yeah, this is like the collective graduation point. The earth and our relationship to like the physical world will have been altered forever after these next months. The next Uranian era and Gemini will really shift the revolution more into the mental and digital space and into the technological realms. Think about AI, data, language, translations, mobility, like transport is all going to get a major upgrade. But this is like the final break that we're going to see in the global financial system. There can be a major event in regards to currencies, market shocks that are going to really force some kind of restructuring. We're going to see possible crash energy, especially around February of 2026. That will be a strong push towards digital currencies. And definitely it will come hand in hand with new financial rules that a lot of people are going to rebel against. We're going to see certain currencies losing their value, a lot of volatility in cryptocurrencies. There can be a very sharp drop first, as we also already seen, but that is going to be followed by like this rebirth and new phase. So yeah, these next few months are really gonna expose all of the weakness in our monetary systems, and they're really gonna force a shift towards like new forms of value and exchange in that as well. Also cyber attacks, power grid going down, that can be a major theme. So if you have a backup generator, that will be really wise. We're definitely going to see the power grid going down in the next few months. So the next one, Implementation of the digital ID, that already happened here in the UK. That will spread further. So the only thing we can say, the only thing we can do is say no to that. They're gonna really, the CO2 budget is really going to be linked to everything as well, as we're already seeing. It is like in a beta or test phase already in the UK. So yeah, all of the conspiracy theories are just like becoming true within a very short period of time, as me and other people have been warning about for the last few years. We're going to see, because of that, another big rise in self-sufficient living and growing your own food and like making an own seed bank, educating yourself on water independence, which are all things we are not learned in high school anymore, and which are definitely very, very noteworthy to dive into. And if it's not like natural or ethical or sustainable, it will really struggle to or like fall away completely. And of course, the earth is going to speak very, very loudly. I think especially around February the 4th, we can see a very, very, very big earthquake. We can see volcanoes and a lot of movement in the tectonic plates. We now, in the past week, in the beginning of this week, we saw Mars opposing Uranus, and I warned for it, and unfortunately it happened. We saw a very, very big plane crash. Actually, a plane exploded in Kentucky. I think 11 people are dead. So yeah, sending love and prayers to people who are affected by that. Whenever Uranus and Mars, they were both at 0 degrees, which is a pretty critical degree. And now Uranus will be on its 29th degree, which is also very critical degree. Like 0 and 29, they are the beginning and the end of a sign. So they have like 0 is like a portal, immense energy, and 29 is critical, the most amount of possible energy that sign can convert, or yeah, how do you say it? Very, very critical mass energy, mass concentrated energy that is actually causing some kind of crisis with Uranus here. So yeah, not to scare you, just to make you aware. Agriculture is going to be affected by weather events. If they're man-made, definitely, like the energy is here of Uranus and Taurus. But if certain men really, yeah, if they contribute to the already unstable energy, then that can like get really out of hand. And that's what we're also already noticing right now. There can be some kind of climate event that can act as like a really, really big collective turning point. And I'm not talking about an apocalypse and the world is going to end. No. But there will be unmistakable signs that we really need to adapt and evolve and innovate, and that people need to stop chemtrailing and all other things as well. So, other things that I want to mention. Nervous system upgrades, tap into somatic healing, trauma release would be very wise. Just like shed everything from the nervous system that has been piling up for years. If you do that before Uranus enters into the sign of Gemini, you can really like start focusing on the mind and really clear your nervous system. So the consciousness upgrade into our conscious mind can really happen and flow more naturally and easily whenever Uranus shifts into Gemini next year. Yeah, we're also going to see another big rise and breakthrough, and I think new technologies that are actually body-based, like some energy healing that and like also somatic spiritual practices and some new therapies that can really, really help us heal and really, yeah, an upgrade in the 5 senses as well. So yeah, more people will be in their bodies, not dissociating and not feeling numbed. Neptune into Pisces has really been making, he is actually the reason why so people are like dissociating as well. Uranus in Taurus for the final time will definitely give us some more clues and information and wake up calls in that as well. So yeah, we all are like wrapping up a final big chapter of our lives. And 2026 is a year of the number one, and that will like totally be a whole new life that we are about to start. So yeah, we're also going to see, of course, a large wave of people leaving their jobs, certain cities, because it's becoming too unstable, and also a lot of people who are going to break away from the past, from lifestyles that actually no longer feel aligned. So yeah. Of course, there can also be on a global stage a lot of attempts to reclaim or like redistribute power over land, food, and money. With Mercury retrograde happening within 2 days, opposing Uranus multiple times. I think the tariffs and everything that Trump started during another Mercury retrograde in the beginning of the year are definitely going to come back up again in order to be reviewed and reassessed, and maybe there are going to be some changes made in that as well. We're going to see a lot of countries and corporations really battling over resources, and it's going to be the final big bang here in the next few months about that. So yeah. We live in a very, very important time in our lives, and an important time here on Earth. We are seeing a lot of massive changes. We see a lot of shakeups. We see a lot of, final shockwaves. All of the outer planets are currently dipping. They are, as of today, with Uranus back into Taurus, all of the outer planets are back in their previous sign, wrapping up the cycle before they actually fully move into their new sign of next year. We have not been seeing this for over 3,000 years. That is how special this time period is. So I want to put a big emphasis on that. A lot of people have been feeling destabilized, have been like, a lot of people been having a hard time because of the inflation and everything so expensive, and like a lot of people are not able to buy a home anymore, and like some bubble needs to burst in order for us to be able again to do all of these natural things actually. So do not be surprised if, like, how do you say it, kaartenhuisje, the house of cards is going to completely crumble in the next few months, because 3,000 years ago we also saw all of the outer planets move and shift signs, also with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, and that was actually the fall of Babylon. So if you look a little bit into the history, that was a very, very big, important time in our history, and we are actually going to write history in the next few months. So don't let yourself be thrown out of balance. Just know that this is like the natural planetary cycles doing their things. All of the things that do not longer suit us or do no longer align with our renewed sense of awakening, they're all gonna crumble and naturally fall away. But it can definitely feel as if the ground is shaking and trembling beneath our feet. So if you feel a little bit overwhelmed because of the shocks and the surprises, definitely this week is one of the most intense weeks of 2025. We're gonna see other intense weeks coming up, but this one is definitely like, oh wow. Uranus opposition with Mars, Mercury retrograde, Uranus dipping back into its previous sign all in the same week is like a lot to deal with. So give yourself some love, really work on that self-love, work on the grounding, go walk barefoot, avoid your screen time. Try to lessen or minimize that in the next couple of weeks. Especially also with Mercury retrograde, it would be a very, very wise time to do like technological detox, really reconnect with Mother Earth. So yeah, I'm also going to look at the 12 rising signs, but I need to go right now. I'm also a photographer. Maybe not everybody knows that. Some of you definitely will, but I need to take some pictures. So whenever I come back, I will look at the 12 rising signs. So yeah, see you later. All right, you guys, I am back. So while I was driving home, I was thinking in my car because I've said earlier here in this video that we're going to see some kind of crash or a big bubble that is about to pop. It would be wise to, sometimes I give you a lot of information, but I need to focus more on the solution as well. So to prevent yourselves from too much financial loss, you can maybe invest in some crystals that is ruled by Taurus. You can also invest in precious metals like silver and gold, really things that keep their value. And also with Jupiter in Cancer, I think real estate is also a very, very smart decision. So yeah, I would suggest you do that because I think our fiat currency, we all see that coming, that it will be not worth it much anymore. So with that being said, we're gonna dive into the readings for the 12 signs. So of course, we are gonna start with Aries. So Aries, Uranus is dipping back into Taurus for one final last time. And it's gonna do that in your second house. So, of course, the second house is about money and income. Also, of course, your self-worth, your financial stability, your possessions. And Uranus rules your 11th house. That is about your friendships, your allies, your like-minded people, your soul tribe, networking as well. So since 2018, Uranus has been transforming your relationship with money. It's been a little bit unstable in regards to your income streams. And the instability might definitely have been affecting your self-worth because that's tied very, very closely together. So many Aries have definitely experienced a lot of extreme financial plot twists, new ways of earning, sudden breakthroughs, shift, unconventional income, income that is connected to the internet are all part of Uranus. So yeah, if you started an online business or maybe freelancing, digital work, entrepreneurship, or just simply innovative pathways in regards to money may have opened over past several years. And if certain things collapsed, then that was actually a push it was pushing you towards financial authenticity and more freedom in regards to that. So this is the final return of that closing chapter, a 7-year financial awakening. So how do you want to earn? How do you want to live? And how do you value yourself on your own terms? So yeah. Because Uranus, of course, also rules your 11th, it's not only about money, it's also about the future that is also connected to the 11th house. So your income now must really align with your purpose and also with your long-term vision on the future. So all these financial choices will definitely reshape your path and also in regards to the communities that you belong to. So you might experience during this last time a breakthrough that is going to increase your income and your financial independence. There can also be a shift in how you price your work and also how you value your talents. A long-term dream, which is also part of the 11th house, or a long-term goal might finally become financially possible. So that is actually very, very positive. You can attract new allies, new clients, and also start working in a community that is going to help you to elevate your success. And that is going to help you to release old fears in regards to money, and it's going to rewire your patterns around your scarcity mindset as well. And with Jupiter in the 4th, because we can see Uranus is going retrograde right now, and once it stations direct, it's going to make a sextile with Jupiter in the future. So yeah, the fact that it's going to sextile Jupiter means that there's like a grounding, expansive energy and blessings revolving around your home and family. Certain money can be coming in, and that can be linked to be able to make a move. Maybe you can upgrade your living surroundings. Maybe you can purchase something. So yeah, relocation or a more abundant living situation is definitely possible. Maybe you bump into the right house, or like You can have a lucky real estate opportunity, can also come through an inheritance, but let's hope that's not the case. And also, this can also be a deep emotional upgrade. It's about creating a life that feels safe and prosperous as well. So yeah, let go of past versions of yourself that are actually tied to survival patterns in regards to money. And also trust your value. You can really earn in ways that reflect your authentic identity during this time. So really align your income with your future and not your past. And you can definitely start to feel more financially free to build a life that you envision for the future. So yeah, it's not just about money. It's actually about reclaiming the freedom to live as the person that you want to become in the future. So good luck, my dear Aries. We have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, dear Taurus? How are you experiencing Uranus dipping back into your sign? This is a biggie, guys. For the past 7 years, since 2018, Uranus has been really shaking up every corner of your life, right? So this is like the final wrap up of that. So yeah, you've been undergoing a complete personal rebirth. It isn't like an easy makeover. This is about like soul level identity revolution within yourself. It can be about your personality, your appearance, and also the direction in life that you wanted to take that could have been like a little bit shaken. So definitely a lot of detours and a lot of unexpected surprises, but this is like the last piece of transformation that is going to click it all into place. The final chapter of becoming the new you and a new identity, and not a version that is shaped by comfort or fear. Uranus is shaking that loose, definitely. So yeah, this is the last plot twist, my dear Tauruses. Let me know if you've been experiencing that, definitely with the opposition from Uranus and Mars affecting your signs, definitely. So yeah, Uranus also rules your 10th house of career. So definitely can be an identity shift that is going to be directly tied to your new calling or your public role or a long-term life direction that is going to like make a big shift for the better. So step into a more authentic or unconventional career with this. You can also leave a job or some kind of social status or title that actually no longer matches who you're becoming right now. You can also become very unexpectedly visible or like publicly influential in a very surprising way with this aspect. There's this big shift wrapping up from like this stable career path to a more of a soul aligned mission in life. And I know you, dear Tauruses, you are a fixed sign. You like stability. You don't like to change. You actually have difficulties with change. You're quite stubborn, and Uranus is the planet of change. So yeah, you've been on a rocky boat for the last few years, and now Uranus is going to give its final kick in the ass, but after that it's going to leave you alone. So yeah, let's celebrate. By the end of April of 2026, Uranus will definitely move out of your sign. So unless you're going to live for 84 years longer, you're not going to see Uranus in your sign anymore. So that is definitely very, very cool. So Jupiter is also moving through your third. It's gonna make a sextile with Uranus in future. So during its wrap up in Taurus. So yeah, the third house is supporting this crazy shift of Uranus by expanding your voice and your message, and the role that you play in your local environment as well. So you might actually take on a more of a leadership role within your local community as well, by all of the changes that Uranus has brought to you. Your mind is going to open more, your ideas are going to like travel further, you're going to be able to zoom out, look more at your new eccentric unconventional ideas, and your story might definitely inspire others, because the 10th house is very publicly seen, the house that Uranus rules. Uranus is making a big identity shift within your first house and is making a beautiful aspect to the third. So if some of you want to make a public announcement, yeah, that can actually definitely inspire other people, or Also, the third is a sibling and a neighbor. Also, someone in your immediate environment can also play a very, very positive role. They can help you open doors, and they can help you connecting with the right people at the right time. So yeah, radical reinvention of your personal style can be your image, can be your body. Also, a good moment if you're self-employed, like if you have your own business, you can be changing your name or your brand or how you identify with your own business. You can become more public, more visible, and you can definitely act a little bit weird or think more outside of the box in your whole career area. I think a lot of Tauruses are gonna quit a job that no longer aligns. And there can be a surprising leadership role or like an opportunity that makes or causes like a very big breakthrough in your career area. So yeah, this is the final shedding of the old skin. And just know that the last 7 years, they weren't just chaos. They were actually a big training and liberation. So you didn't lose stability. You actually built a new one that is based on more truth and not comfort alone in itself. So yeah, this is the moment when your life path is going to align with who you are becoming in the future. So my dear Tauruses, no more living little or like no more living small or keeping yourself small to stay safe. It's your time to share your unique voice. So good luck, my dear Taurus. We have Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So how is it going, Gemini? Uranus is going to leave your sign before it fully ingresses in April of 2026. So you've already had a sneak peek. Let me know if you've felt anything, if something shifted. I'm quite sure it did. Let me know how you guys are doing with this unpredictable energy getting infused in you guys' sign. So the houses that are now activated by this is, of course, the 12th house, and Uranus also rules your 9th house. So the two spiritual houses are yet again affected by Uranus. So a lot of new insights, a lot of shakeups within your dream. Take extra care with your sleeping routine. Uranus can make you so restlessness, and it can feel so chaotic in your brain that it might be difficult to really turn it off and go to sleep at the right or given time or the healthy time. I know a lot of Geminis have been staying up late with this energy in their chart, but it is a closing of a very big karmic chapter. The 12th is about subconsciousness, the spiritual realms. It's also the house of final ending. So there might be an abrupt final ending to something that has been karmically suppressing you, or like you've been trying to liberate yourself from some unconscious patterns within your psyche. And now Uranus is going to make its last big push for you in order for you to really release that. So this can really bring profound clarity and a lot of cosmic downloads. A certain truth might land so powerfully that it's going to change how you see reality itself. This is about spiritual awakening, intuitive breakthroughs, and also very big quantum shifts in consciousness. So yeah, this is the moment where the puzzle is, all the pieces of the puzzle are finally gonna fall into place, and you're gonna finally understand why something had to happen the way it did for the past 7 years. You're gonna leave behind this old mental or like this old energetic prison for good. So that is quite positive. And because Uranus also rules the 9th, this is really about revelations happening in your inner world that actually directly shape your beliefs, your philosophy, your purpose, and also your future path. So you can teach something that you stand for. You can have new beliefs that are getting rewired with Uranus. There can actually be an emergence of a totally new spiritual worldview. You can do that by studying. You can dive into a new field of knowledge that can be very Aquarian or like Uranian related. Uranus is, of course, about science, technology, AI, for example. So yeah, The 9th and the 12th activated is about spiritual, philosophical, and educational awakening that is going to reset your whole life path. There can be a sudden desire to study or to share your wisdom in a new, eccentric, unconventional way. Can also be about your belief systems that are going to totally collapse, and then it's going to get replaced with other beliefs that feel way more true, and they are actually based on truth and freedom. So the fact that it's gonna make a sextile to Jupiter in your second house, this is gonna bring a lot of openings in financial possessions. It can be material growth, and it's definitely an indicator of new earning potential. So yeah. It can also be because it's now back in the 12th, there can be a breakthrough and healing trauma and subconscious blocks that are getting unlocked. If you've been struggling a bit with addiction patterns, Uranus can now like totally set you free from that. So yeah, you might also discover your voice as like a teacher or a guide or like a storyteller with all, because it rules the 9th house. You can also launch something educational or something spiritual. So yeah, this is like a big timeline reset. Prepare yourselves to shed all of these old patterns before Uranus is going to dip into your sign next year. So let me know how you guys are doing, and I wish you the best of luck, my dear Gemini. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So Uranus is dipping back into Taurus, and it's going to do that in your 11th house. And Uranus also rules your 8th house. So since 2018, Uranus has been electrifying your 11th. It's been completely reshaping your friendships, your connections to community. This is like the social sphere. This is like your soul tribe, your like-minded people. And you might feel like you've changed social circles quite a lot. You've like cut out a lot of friendships that were no longer aligned, and it got replaced by this new soul aligned community, and that is often online that happens these days. So yeah, the last return of Uranus, it's a big completion point, like a final clearing of who you truly like, who truly like belongs in your life, and also what future that you're moving towards, because the 11th is about the future. So actually, Uranus rules the 11th house in traditional astrology. So you, my dear Cancers, are going to benefit greatly from this aspect. So yeah, very big closing chapter in your social sphere. That might be the ending of a friendship. There can also be new, sudden, eccentric, unconventional friendships entering your life during this time. And by April of next year, you're going to feel way more clear about your purpose and who your allies are. And I'm like talking about your real allies. So yeah. Because it also rules the 8th, that is, of course, about shared resources and financial support, and also energetic exchange. So Uranus is going to bring awareness and how the energetic exchanges between your friends are like happening, and if it's like positive or negative. Uranus is going to make that quite obvious. Be a little bit careful about lending or borrowing a lot of money to or from your friends. That might be a little bit unstable. The positive fact is that in your community or in your social sphere, if you bump into someone and it's actually a real ally, they can actually give you some tips on how to improve your finances and your investments. And it's also about support, whether that's material or energetic, that is going to come from people and friendships and like communities. They can also help you how to truly share your gifts and talents to the world. So maybe you're going to bump into a collaborative project that suddenly takes off. Can also be a financial change that is actually connected to a friend, a group, or some kind of team that you're working. Can also be like ending like these unequal exchanges or like draining dynamics, because Some of us hold on to people because we have a trauma bond that is also found in the 8th house, and maybe now Uranus is going to awaken you so much that you feel like you see the truth in the bond, and it's going to help you to detach from old survival-based patterns around friendships and around shared resources, and it's going to help you to step into way more empowered reciprocal connections with others. So yeah, build or like join a mission-based community. You can also use online platforms in a new way. Share your wisdom, because yeah, there is like a destiny crossroads here, and this is like a very big future timeline shift. So another thing is, because Jupiter, no, I think I'm going to keep it at that. Jupiter, of course, is in your sign, and it's also going to make a beautiful sextile towards Jupiter in your sign. So actually all the new friendships that you encounter right now can feel like you're being blessed, and you can like be yourself with them. You can like expand the identity that you already have, and like be very happy and positive about that. And friends can definitely help you to really like embody this whole new identity, and you can really like benefit from having them over at home, and then you're gonna feel like you want to invite friendships at home during this time, and that can be a source of great happiness. So good luck, my dear Cancer. We have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So Leo, since 2018, Uranus has been revolutionizing your 10th house of career. Uranus also rules your 7th of partnership. So it's about your career, your public role, your reputation. I think a lot of Leos have been going through a lot of job changes and a lot of unexpected opportunities, a lot of departures at their work, or some reinventions definitely connected to technology that could have created a lot of bit of unstable energy within the job. This is about sudden redirections in your professional path. Uranus is going to return to Taurus for the final time. So this is like a very big culmination point in the next few months. So this can be like being at the crossroads in regards to your career. Some kind of public identity is going to shift or end, so a more authentic one can emerge. So this is about pioneering, being aligned, being innovative as well. There can be breakthrough and recognition in that. So expect a plot twist, but one that is going to ultimately free you along the way. So by April 2026, your professional story is going to look completely different. And of course, because Uranus also rules your 7th, this is going to change the change in your 10th and in your public life is, of course, directly linked to your relationships and your partnerships. So there can be a shift in your relationship status that is also can alter your life path, because the 10th house is also about social status. So maybe if you do bump into someone new or you break up, this can also mean like being set free in your social status. Uranus is about like freedom as well. Maybe your partner's life can also influence your career in a very unexpected way. There can also be an unexpected business collaboration that is going to open new doors. So for some, there can be also a very big thing happening in your partner's life, maybe success that happens to them very unexpectedly, and that changes your life as well. And yeah, this is like a period of breaking generational patterns that are installed or like wired in your brain around success and approval and also identity. And you know, approval is very important for my dear Leos. And of course, approval is important for everyone. Everyone likes to be approved and likes to have a compliment. And Uranus can actually help you to set you free, that you're no longer dependent on compliments from other people to feel good in your skin. It's going to teach you and make you aware that you actually don't need praise and admiration from other people, and that you can find that inside of yourself, as long as you are authentic within your leadership role, definitely within your career, and that can like totally shift. So I think a lot of Leos are going to leave a career that is no longer going to fit your role and your true self. Other Leos are going to experience a shift in authority at their job. Maybe your boss leaves, or maybe your boss suddenly can't come to work or something like that. There can also be like a new business emerging, like starting self-employment, or like starting your own business. And also, yeah, starting this like new professional or romantic partnership that is going to completely shift your future. It's actually about becoming more independent, and it's about entrepreneurial activity as well, and being more self-led. So yeah, you're actually entering the final stage of very long initiation in regards to being publicly on stage. So expect the unexpected in that, but trust that the change is going to elevate you. So don't freak out, my dear Leos. This is going to be positive, and I wish you the best of luck. We have Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, my dear Virgos? Uranus is going to dip back into Taurus, and for you, that's going to happen in your 9th house. Uranus also rules, of course, Aquarius, and that is your 6th house. So definitely about your daily routine, about shifts in your work area as well, the daily service that you do for other people, and that is the 6th house. And the 9th house is, of course, about your beliefs and your worldview. It's like a relationship with knowledge and truth. Many Virgo risings have gone through a very big spiritual awakening, studied a lot of things, changed their philosophical frameworks over the past few years. And that could have been by exploring to new cultures, or like, yeah, people from a different cultural background than yours could have like definitely helped you with that. And yeah, this is like life-changing experiences in regards to far distance travel. So some of you, while you were on a trip, got definitely inspired to write or publish something, or maybe, yeah, study in the fields that are related to teaching, healing, coaching, wisdom sharing. So yeah, Uranus is going to bring the last final closure to this 7-year quest of meaning. So the last rewiring of your belief system, your life philosophy that maybe once guided you in the past has maybe potentially definitely served its purpose, and now it's going to be replaced by a more liberated and authentic worldview. So yeah, a final truth shock, a final revelation, like a final perspective shift that is going to align you with your next chapter of purpose, because the 9th is about purpose. The 9th is also about publishing. So and then being, yeah, like mentor, or like a book publisher, or like an agent that helps you yeah, spread the word as well. So of course Uranus also rules this, it rules the 6th. So yeah, the awakening of truth in your belief system is actually inseparable from your health, your lifestyle, and your daily service. There's definitely going to be a change of work routines that are going to reflect your new values. I think a lot of Virgos are going to leave a job that is no longer aligned. A lot of Virgos are going to dive deep into a new study, healing, coaching, teaching, because it's also connected to the 9th and the 6th. They are intertwined here. And if you do that and you get like a new certificate, you're going to break free from these draining routines and work cycles that actually no longer resonate. So the sextile to Jupiter can also bring you opportunities to speak and share your knowledge and publish. Can also be related to overseas. There are gonna be mentors and people who guide you, or some new teachers coming in your life who are gonna accelerate your growth. So and if you're gonna travel during this time, if you're gonna immerse yourself in a different culture, that can also totally reorient your life direction. So if you've been working on projects that involve writing, the media, connected to spiritual work, then this is a period of breakthrough and completion. So let me know if that happens for you. So a sudden desire to live, to learn, to work abroad. It's actually preparing you for this new life path that is about to emerge in April of 2026. And all of the surges of energy, these are all going to be driven by meaning and not by obligation. You're like wrapping that up, like no more obligation. You're just doing it because you feel called to. So your mind is actually opening, your spirit is awakening, and your path is going to shift into alignment. So let me know what happens for you. I actually had quite the surprise this week, definitely with Mars opposite Uranus in my ninth. Of course, Mars is my planet because I'm an Aries. So let me know how you Virgos experience this week, and if you've bumped into some kind of truth or some surprise, or just let me know. And I wish you the best of luck. We have Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is it going? You're going to have Uranus dipping back into Taurus, and it's going to do that in your 8th house. Now, Uranus, of course, rules your 5th, because the 5th house is the house of Aquarius. So the 8th house is about how you share your energy, your resources, your intimacy. It's about trust. It's about energetically, psychologically, and sexually energetic exchange as well. So yeah, I think a lot of Libras have been gone through like a fluctuating energy within their final situations. Definitely involving partners and families or banks or like institutions that could have been like a little bit of unpredictable or unstable. Some of you had sudden gains, others have completely lost everything or like a lot of money. Uranus is like very difficult to predict. That is like, it's just difficult with Uranus. Like the things you think you know, that's not gonna happen. It's like the things you never thought about, because they're here to shake you free and awake. So yeah, I hope you had sudden gains through investments or property or inheritance. If that's not the case, then it definitely revealed the imbalances or like the attachments that you needed to break so that you could actually reclaim your personal power. So yeah, big closure to a 7-year transformation around trust, intimacy, and your shared resources. So between now and in April 2026, you can expect like the final financial or emotional turning point in regards to your shared assets. Can actually give profound, deep healing around intimacy and vulnerability. And because it also rules the 5th, these themes of like intimacy and shared resources are of course tied to the 5th house, and the 5th house is your romance, your children, your creativity, your self-expression. So yeah, actually what brings you joy and inspiration. So there can be a major turning point in a romantic relationship happening. The 8th house is also the house of divorce. Uranus is the planet of freedom. So yeah, just throwing that out there. There can also be a lot of breakthroughs around like the way you attach yourself to other people. So if you've been a little bit in an avoidant attachment pattern, then Uranus is going to wrap that up and maybe show you that by distancing yourself, you actually lack emotional safety. So that can be like a very big theme for you guys. There's definitely going to be a shift in how you give and receive love. There's also going to be like new unconventional decisions that are going to be made around children, or maybe fertility, or maybe also how you are parenting them. So yeah, learn to share your heart and your resources more authentically without sacrificing your autonomy. And I know that's like a long life, a lesson that is going to keep coming back up for you, my dear Libras, because you are the sign of like the other. So choose yourself. It's very, very important. And it can indicate a lot of growth for you, my dear Libra. With the sextile to Jupiter, Jupiter is of course in your 10th, expansive energy in the career area. There can be a new financial income stream coming through, or like new business partnerships that are really abundant for you, my dear guys. Could also be about like commissions of passive income, also online earnings. I'll also be a little bit mindful about taxes, insurance, mortgages, inheritance, legal settlements. That is what Uranus brought like this unstable energy in for the past few years since 2018. So that's going to be the last big bang in that. So yeah, build financial stability in non-traditional ways and really free yourself from patterns or like old patterns in regards to dependency. So yeah, definitely going to be shifting how you merge your resources with others, also how you trust others. There can also be an increased interest like in tantra, in healing, in shadow work, in psychology, because that is all part of the 8th house as well. The 8th house is the house of the occult. And yeah, because it's ruling the 5th, there can also be a passion project that can really take off financially. So the transit here, it is ultimately about empowered sharing. It is not about merging from a place of fear, but it's about a place of empowerment. So no more imbalance or obligation in regards to the 8th house themes. So yeah, you're actually reclaiming your right to experience intimacy and independence without losing the love for yourself. So, my dear Libra, there is liberation in how you relate in love, and also, yeah, sharing is actually the gift of this moment, sharing from a place of empowerment. Good luck, my dear Libra. We have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, my dear Scorpio, you have Uranus retrograding back into Taurus in your 7th house. So, since 2018, Uranus has been displaying a lot of unstable energy in regards to marriage and business partnerships. And it's actually been revolutionizing how you show up in your committed relationships, whether that's romantic, business, or in regards to your clients. Yeah, a lot of Scorpios have undergone like this unpredictable relationship cycles during this period. Can be sudden beginnings or endings, like every day redefining your commitment, wanting to choose freedom over entanglement, or maybe like experiencing partners going through their own awakening, and like having to deal with them is like a lot, or like causes a lot of instability within your life. So yeah, this is like the closure of a 7-year karmic relationship cycle. This is going to clarify whether partnership truly is stable enough to stay, what it truly means also to you. A lot of you are going to separate. I'm just saying that. And if you stay, then it's rock solid. Then it's gonna like totally renew. And if you keep your relationship, then it means that you both operate from a place of freedom and a loving, balanced partnership, and not one that is based on clinginess or like codependency, because Uranus in the 7th cannot take any codependency. So congratulations if you're already like evolved and awakened to that stage. That is very positive. So yeah, if you're single, of course, then it can bring a lot of clarity about your past patterns, and it's going to have a positive effect on your future connections. You're going to form them from like a consciousness, like a place of consciousness, rather than like the repetition of codependency in the past. Of course, Uranus rules your 4th house. So I think a lot of Scorpios are gonna unexpectedly move with your partner. Maybe your partner moves in, maybe you move out, maybe you move together. Jupiter is in the 9th. I think some Scorpios can even move overseas, and that can like bring a lot of positivity within your lives. So definitely wise to look at that if you're interested in that. This can be like your moment the next few months to do that. But definitely changes to your living situation due to like a relationship. Family dynamics might also be affecting partnerships in which you break up. So be careful about family patterns that are like causing issues within the relationship. The fourth is, of course, also about breaking these ancestral or family patterned relationship cycles that you're stuck in. You can like free yourself from that. So yeah, this can like end up in like a big liberation from all this childhood conditioning around attachment, around loyalty and emotional bonding. So Uranus in the seventh has been learning you to build relationships based on truth, freedom, and mutual respect, not from obligation or like this obsessive intensity. Yeah, very big invitation to rewrite your attachment blueprint and all of that. So yeah, I think a lot of Scorpios are gonna break up, not gonna lie. But there can actually also be a very big breakthrough happening that is going to strengthen your intimacy and your honesty. There can be like this conscious uncoupling or like redefining the relationship agreement as well. But definitely more eccentric, electrifying, authentic connections might also be entering your life during this time. So yeah, choosing independence or a new relationship paradigm, that can be like the thing you're a little bit stuck in, but that's gonna end by April of 2026. It's actually about liberating the whole love area and stop merging out of fear or out of karmic pull. Choose connection that is actually rooted in truth and in freedom and in mutual growth. So yeah, dear Scorpio, your relationships are definitely transforming so that you can actually love others without self-abandonment. So good luck, my dear Scorpio. We have Sagittarius and Moon or Rising. Uranus is going to retrograde back into your sixth house. So it's been going over your descendant. How have you guys been experiencing that in regards to marriage and business or romantic partnerships? Now it's back in the sixth for the final time. So it's going to shake up your daily routines, your work life, how you care for your physical and mental well-being. I think many Sagittarius have been changing jobs unexpectedly and have been shifting into a more flexible or a more unconventional work ethics. Excuse me. It can also be about like freelancing or entrepreneurship as well. And a lot of you have felt a strong desire for more autonomy and meaning in how you spend your daily routine and your time in regards to your work as well. So yeah, Uranus is closing this 7-year chapter about your daily lifestyle and your work reinvention or like your work environment. So old habits that actually drained you, work that kept you stuck, environments that limit your freedom, they will no longer be tolerable. Definitely not between now and April of 2026. There can be a big breakthrough in how you structure your life. Design a daily reality that actually supports who you are becoming or who you want to be in the future. Uranus is about the future as well. So yeah, you can learn a new skill that transform your work direction. There can also be a desire to actually move because it's actually squaring the EC. There can be very sudden, unexpected moves happening actually in your, like, dear Sagittarius, because it's in your opposing sign. It's actually affecting the 4 angular houses in your chart. So Uranus could be shaking up your whole foundation, your identity, your living situation, your career, and also your partnerships. Definitely because it goes over the descendant back and forth right now. So there can also be new tools and technology that are going to actually improve your efficiency and that can create more freedom in your daily routine as well. And also let go of these mental habits that actually sabotage your well-being. You're actually realigning your mind and your lifestyle, and it's also about like make sure that your reality matches your beliefs, your values, and your truth. Stop like running on autopilot in your daily life. Because Uranus is going to receive positive aspects from Jupiter, there can be an increased income, financial relief that is actually connected to shifts in regards to work. There can be a project or a skill or some service that you provide that can become more profitable as well. So yeah, there can be new income streams for sure, because Jupiter is in the 8th. It is, of course, your chart ruler. It's going to make a sextile with Uranus in the future. So very positive and very welcome to see. You can actually gain by investments, and also in the 6th, it's also about your health. So it's actually more freedom aligning for you, and a healthier work-life balance that is also going to improve your well-being. So yeah, you can change your work schedule, you can shift to a more flexible routine, or you can start working remotely as well. Definitely leave a job that drains you, move towards what's energizing you. That is going to be of utmost importance. There can be a new health routine or a new treatment, or like a breakthrough in that as well if you've been suffering. And also, yeah, know that this is not random change. It's like the final adjustments that are gonna like set you up for the next era of your life after April of 2026. So yeah, it's about liberation in your daily life, break old patterns of overworking and self-sacrifice, and also doing what you should do, what is like being told to you by society. Choose what keeps you inspired and healthy, and makes you feel free. This is actually an invitation to live your life with a lot of new intention, with vitality, and stand in your truth every single day. So good luck, my dear Sages. We have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So Uranus is going to dip back into Taurus, and for you, that's happening in your 5th house. So Uranus, of course, also rules your 2nd house of finances and income. So, since 2018, Uranus has been electrifying and creating this unstable energy within your 5th. It's been radically reshaping how you look at love and romance and pleasure, and shakeups in your creative passion. Sudden surges of inspiration, and then suddenly it's all gone. So that is normal. That is Uranus operating here. A lot of surprising love stories, shifts in your sexual expression as well. Be mindful about unexpected pregnancies. And also it's gonna have it's been having a big effect on these sudden changes with your children as well. So yeah, like I said, creativity, like bursts of inspiration, the energy of reinvention and experimentation within relationships as well, often in very unconventional ways. So let me know how that played out for you, my dear Capricorns. So yeah, between now and April of 2026, expect like a final big plot twist, or like breakthroughs in your love life, breakthroughs in the lives of your children, a redefinition of your relationship with joy and pleasure, bursts of energy within your creativity. So what brings you joy now? And look at how that got rewired since 2018. And because Uranus also rules the 2nd, it's not just about love and creativity, it's also about what you value. It's also how you earn money and what makes you feel worthy and alive. So a creative project, which is found in the 5th, could become like this new income stream if you like fully go for that. There can be a breakthrough. If you've been like trying for the past 7 years to make money off of your creativity, this could be the time when it happens. So go for it. Like, this is like the final boost. Yeah, and there can also be a financial boost that is connected to children, and also, yeah, a relationship that is going to teach you your self-value, and it's like going to be a whole reset in your value system. You can actually enter a relationship with more personal freedom, and definitely also big shift in how you spend and invest. So yeah, you're actually learning to choose for joy and passion and desire, and that it's not as luxury, but actually as a measure of self-worth. So I know you, dear Capricorns, are very hardworking, and I also know you have unconventional ways of having fun. So let me know which one these are for you. I'm actually quite curious. And Uranus is also going to make a very positive aspect to Jupiter, and that's found in the 7th. So definitely very positive for your marriage, long-term relationship, love, interest, attraction. Long-term love things. Like the 5th can be like about situationships, but the fact that it sextiles Jupiter in the 7th really points to like a lot of breakthroughs and like having a long-term stable relationship wherein freedom and wisdom and like higher knowledge really like is cultivated together. So that is actually pretty positive. Can definitely be like the soulmate romantic connection that comes in. Can also be like a gateway opening in your creativity, that like finally some project of talent really takes off. And also like this inherited sense of like I'm allowed to enjoy my life after all. Yeah, because you're a Capricorn. I know you're very precise, very hardworking, very committed, but yeah, just like enjoy life. And also, surprising romantic connections from the past can also be like rekindled. That is also definitely a theme. Unexpected news to you from your children. You can also become unexpectedly a parent or a grandparent, or like reach a very big milestone in your child's life. So yeah, this is actually your green light to choose joy without feeling guilty, because love, creativity, and self-expression, they are no longer side notes whenever Uranus enters the 5th again. They're actually a big part of your purpose. So enjoy that energy, and I wish you the best of luck, my dear Capricorn. We have Aquarius and Moon or Rising. Uranus is going to dip back into Taurus, and for you, that's going to happen in your 4th house. Of course, Uranus rules Aquarius, and Aquarius is, of course, you. So it's your chart ruler. Very, very important for you, my dear Aquarius. Your chart ruler is on the move. So the fact that it dips back into the 4th, of course, you already know what's been going on with your chart ruler in the 4th. So the home is, of course, about... The 4th is about your family, your roots, your home, your living situation, your private life. It's also about your emotional foundations. And because Uranus rules you, it's about your identity and your self-image, and also like very big personal awakening in regards to that. So yeah, since 2018, your chart ruler has been shaking up your home life, your living situation, your roommates that you live together with. It's also about your sense of belonging and like rooting within the 4th. In the 4th, there are ancestral roots found in that house. So I'm pretty sure that many Aquarians, especially Aquarius risings, have been moving multiple times, experienced a lot of sudden shifts in your family dynamics. You could have actually even changed countries. Definitely a big redefinition of what home means to you. Sometimes you did that by choice. A lot of times it's by disruption. So yeah, it's been awakening your need for freedom and authenticity and a lifestyle that feels aligned with who you truly are now, not who you were raised to be. That is like the biggest theme for you, my dear Aquarius. You are here to break free. You are here to be weird. You are here to feel alienated from your family. You are here to think outside of the box. You are here to like restructure the collective with your like new long-term futuristic vision. You are the weirdo, and we all love you so much because we truly need you to really like change things up and then bringing your shocks to the world. That is very, very welcome, even if you think, or even if you're taught by your parents that that's not the case. That is not true. You're very, very necessary here. So Uranus dipping back into the 4th. A sudden move, sudden relocation, shifts in your living arrangements with other people. You can also have an opportunity to work from home, or maybe create like a business that's home based as well. So there can also be a new chapter opening up in like your role within a family. You can do a lot of ancestral work and like liberate yourself from that. There can also be powerful breakthroughs in your inner child. Good time to really heal your root chakra as well. And also, yeah, this is, my dear Aquarians, it is your final moment to really cut the family cords. Yeah, just cut yourself free from all the family patterns, the expectations, and all the inherited conditioning. Really anchor yourself into your sovereignty. You're built to do that. It's naturally who you are, to be to be different than other people. Yeah, it's actually about building a home and look at that from your future self. Like, if you make decisions right now within the home area, think, what would my future self do? What would she choose? That is going to be like a good way to tap into the energy and make the best of that. Of course, because it's going to sextile Jupiter, a living situation that like once felt too unstable can actually now become a very big source of freedom and abundance. So take notice of that. There could be definitely a surprise opportunity to move somewhere where you are going to feel way more inspired and more aligned. You can also have profits off of rental, gains in real estate, and like a new sense of inner home through a lot of spiritual and healing work. So if you've been searching for your place, then this can be like the final piece of the puzzle really falling into place. It's not just a physical relocation. This is like a total soul relocation, if you know what I mean. It's about inner awakening, about the decluttering of the psyche. And that happens best in silence and meditation and time in nature. So if your emotions feel too overwhelming with Uranus back into the fourth, just reconnect with nature. By April of 2026, you're going to feel like you finally came home to yourself, but only if you tap into healing all the childhood imprints and really releasing the past and creating space for the life that you've actually meant to live. So yeah, it's not about finding a home. It's actually about becoming home within yourself, or like feeling at home within yourself. So good luck, my dear Aquarius. We have Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So Uranus is dipping back into Taurus, and for you, that's happening in your third house. So Uranus is going to do that for the final time. So since 2018, Uranus has been totally rewiring your conscious mind, your voice, how you write, the way you communicate with the world. It's been disrupting these old ways of thinking. It's been shaking you up from your patterns inside of the mind. It's been pushing you into new paths of learning, and it's also about like awakening a desire for more freedom in how you express yourself. So a lot of Pisces have really changed how they speak, how they think, how they write, how they teach, and how they share and like show up online as well. The third is also about your relationship with siblings and like extended family members, and especially the sibling younger than you, and that might have undergone a lot of sudden shifts. Maybe some distance, then there's a reconnection, then there can be a reinvention, but just like things being a little bit unstable in that area. So this is the final return of like the last chapter of 7-year mental and communicational awakening. So yeah, how do you want to think, speak, and show up now? Now that you know who you really are, or like now that you've gained a better understanding of who you are. Now Neptune, of course, dipped back into Pisces in your sign as well, so there can still be a little bit of fogginess, uncertainness, but that is going to end soon as well, from January, when Neptune shifts over into Aries. So yeah, this is such an important time for you, my dear Pisces. This is like a very big turning point in regards to your mindset, in regards to your local environment. You might also move to actually a new neighborhood that is also going to shift your day-to-day reality. You can also launch a speaking project or a writing project, or like breakthrough in how you communicate your truth. That is positive. Really use your voice. And because Uranus rules over your 12th house, it's also like, it's not only about your mind and the external reality, it's also about reshaping your inner world and also dissolving all these outdated mental patterns. You're now integrating like intuition with intellect, and also your spiritual awareness is merging with your message. So some of you Pisces are definitely going to feel your intuition turning up a notch, and you're going to say things without like knowing where they like come from. And Uranus in the third, that is like a mind on fire. And these sudden insights and sudden awareness and breakthroughs within your own limitation of, like, you have circuits in the brain. Most of the people run the same circuits every fucking single day, and they never succeed of like breaking the pattern. Uranus in the third is like the cure for like making these new connections with your synapses within the brain. So yeah, this is actually quite interesting, and I think it's a very important and yeah, beneficial energy that is happening for you now, because it's also going to sextile Jupiter, and Jupiter is of course in your fifth house, a very positive house, and it's Jupiter is is trining you. So Uranus is going to sextile you, especially if you have degrees, if you have a sun, moon, or rising within the later degrees of Pisces. Yeah, I think you guys might definitely move very unexpectedly, but that is going to happen by April next year. That is too soon. But Uranus in the third, there can be like a new platform where you can share your voice. You can start teaching online, speaking online, podcasting, writing, blogging. All these things are gonna, yeah, Uranus is gonna cause a major shift in how you think, how you believe. This is like a mental rebirth, like the final piece of the 7-year-long mental rebirth that you had. You're gonna feel urges to study something new. If you feel that, really dive into that, because after that you can really teach what you've learned, and that can make you quite happy and can be quite expansive also for you. And because Jupiter, yeah, in the fifth, that is so yeah, positive, because Jupiter in the fifth is about expansive and abundant energy and how you express yourself. The fifth house is actually traditionally the Leo house. It's about being on stage as well. Jupiter is really uplifting this whole transit. Your voice, your ideas can really gain a lot of traction. On social media, in your community, it can bring a lot of growth and recognition. So something that you're going to launch right now, or maybe something that you're going to share, could really gain a lot of momentum. It can actually open doors with a lot of ease. So a message, a course, a book, a voice that can reach more people. A positive development with a family member or a sibling can also happen. And also, yeah, a growth in audience, maybe a viral moment can also happen. And with Uranus ruling the 12th, yeah, it's also about awakening your consciousness from the inside out. You're clearing illusions, you're dissolving the mental fog, you're shedding these old thought patterns that came from family and upbringing and past lives as well. So yeah, this final return brings a lot of mental and spiritual coherence with each other. First, it can feel a little bit unstable, but if you tune in and then go in within the depths and really tune in with yourself, it can bring a lot of spiritual coherence once this transit ends. So yeah, your intuition and your logic, they start to really work as one. So really positive time to really dive into meditation and journaling. You can feel like what you're journaling can become quite, it can become reality quite fast. Also, spiritual retreats are very helpful during this time, and yeah, mental detox from the online world can also help you into like reconnecting and create spiritual coherence. Because Uranus in the third, it is about speaking and blogging and podcasting, but it can feel quite overwhelming for the brain and for the nervous system. That's why it's very important, because it rules the 12th house, that you take time off and balance like all the busyness with retreat, and maybe isolating yourself from like overstimulating your brain. That is going to be important, and it's going to help you in the spiritual coherence as well. So yeah, it isn't just about communicating, though. It is actually about speaking the truth from the depths of your soul. So how applicable is that for my dear Pisces? So yeah, I think that was it for my dear Pisces. Thank you all so much for listening. So yeah, the final chapter of Uranus in Taurus. It is time to shed all of the old versions of our lives. We need to trust the nudges and breakthroughs and the renewed awareness that is gonna come from this aspect. And also, yeah, it's like the final cosmic push before a whole new era is gonna begin. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video and if you're still here, thank you so much for listening. Drop me a comment, let me know how you've been experiencing Uranus for the past 7-8 years, and I will see you back soon for my Mercury and retrograde Mercury retrograde video in Sag back to Scorpio. I'm gonna do that live on Sunday, the 9th of November. Today was not a live. I'm sorry, guys. I had a lot of things to do today, but Sunday I'll make more time to do it live and reconnect with all of you beautiful souls. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.